Hi, I'm Derek.
And I'm John, and we're from Defenders TV Podcast.
You're listening to the Damnation crossover event on Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast.
Hey guys, it's Rod Reyes here, artist of Marvel's Damnation comic book event. Welcome to the podcast crossover between Inner Demons, Sons of the Dragon, Defenders TV Podcast, and Into the Night. Every issue reviewed, all tie-in books discussed. May all be damned.
Tell me though, what's his technique? That last strike.
Hello and welcome to Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. My name is Connor McKenna.
I'm Rebecca Hart.
And today we have a very special guest from over at Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast, Ray. Hello.
Hey, how you going, Connor? How you going, Rebecca?
Good.
Yeah, I'm very
Awesome.
very excited to be on Sons of the Dragon. Actually, I've been a long time listener, so can't wait to give my 2 cents to Iron Fist 80.
I mean, our last email a year ago was from Ray, so...
yeah.
So get on and email us, although we're delighted to have Ray's email. Everyone else should follow him. And then who knows, one day you too could be a guest.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, exactly. We'll just start giving out prizes for people who email us. So, but yeah, obviously, the Moon Knight podcast is part of the collective, a bunch of podcasts, but more importantly, part of the Damnation crossover, which involves us, Into the Night, Inner Demons, the Ghost Rider podcast, and Defenders TV podcast. Yeah. And yeah, we're all covering Damnation, and we will be covering the final Iron Fist Damnation tie-in today, and the final Iron Fist issue today as well. Yeah. So this will also, sad news, but it will wrap up the run. Yeah. Believe it or not, I actually nearly forgot how to introduce the show because I've been away so long. I was like, is it the Iron Fist podcast or the Immortal Iron Fist podcast?
Yeah, I do that all the time, so I always make either you or Carl do it.
Yeah. It is the Immortal Iron Fist, isn't it?
It is the Immortal Iron.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's a little... Sorry, I was about to say, it is a little sad that we're wrapping up the Damnation crossover, between the podcasts, which is a little sad. But as you say, like a double hit, it being the last kind of Iron Fist issue, I guess for this foreseeable future will be
I mean, who knows? We might find out more at the end of the Damnation event. Mm-hmm. But as far as anyone knows right now, this is... I mean, we've got the Avengers BC Iron Fist, the female one, is going to be in the new Avengers. Right. But this is the last place we know Danny will be, for sure.
I haven't actually read that yet. Is that just like cave woman Iron Fist, or?
She's not so cave woman, but that kind of time period. But she's... I mean, they're not in a lot because they've only been in that one issue so far.
Yeah, okay.
The legacy one. If you think more like Ancient Mystic, who could actually hang out with Agamotto, because Agamotto is the Doctor Strange character in it. Yeah, is actually Agamotto.
So what's happening with that A Million BC? Is there a series going to come out or?
No, they're going to be part of the new Avengers run. So Jason Aaron's going to write modern and flip back to the past in it.
Oh, okay, right. So Edward
that'll all be in the Jason Aaron run, yeah.
Right. Ah, okay.
And the team has the modern team is all the people you'd expect, but with Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And it also has Doctor Strange in, but he said that's going to be like a rotating spot. Right. So, we may have all kinds of people popping up in that spot in the future, but it's like they're going to drag them in depending on what stories they want to tell.
Mm-hmm. We've also got a potential Midnight Suns, you reckon, series?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We might know about that when they finish Damnation.
Yeah. I'd really like a Mystic-themed team book.
It would be great.
It would be really good, I think. Keep these characters in Damnation so far, and like flesh out the likes of Man Thing and Brother Voodoo, I think, or Elsa Bloodstone.
Yeah, I'd love just one with Elsa and Blade.
Yeah. Hey Connor,
I will say, yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I was just about to say.
No, you go first.
Okay, sorry. I was just about.
That's all good.
Just about to say that. I remember all the way back in part 1 of our Damnation crossover, Rebecca mentioned to you, Connor, about Elsa Bloodstone, and had you managed to read Next Wave between then and now?
I have not yet, unfortunately. Pretty much all I've read is Iron Fist, and today I actually did a bunch of Iron Fist 90s reading as well, just to... I guess I'll go into that later.
Which I guess reminds me...
Yeah.
Welcome back. I'm glad you're feeling a bit better.
Yeah.
Should probably have said that to start with. It's very nice to have you back.
It was killing me that I missed the first 2
and
Iron
sadly,
Fist tie-ins.
and ironically, now Carl can't make it because of a house guest. So
yeah,
apologies to everyone. We'll get the 3 of us together again sometime.
Yeah, next Blood Moon.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess I've been enjoying these Damnation tie-ins, but the Damnation main book, I mean, there's 1 issue left, and they've brought in all these characters in a team, and pretty much none of them have gotten anything to do in the main book. Blade got hit with a hammer, and that's like the most memorable thing I can think of any of the people they recruited having done.
Yeah.
Like it just seems very all the tie-ins have all the interesting information, and Damnation was like they recruited the team, they fought, and Johnny fell off a cliff and died again.
Yeah.
I mean, the first issue of Damnation was great.
It was, yeah.
But it just seems very bare bones.
I think thank God for the tie-ins, actually. Just they're
definitely
so much fun. And like they all have their own flavour to them.
Yeah. I know nothing about Scarlet Spider, and I didn't care about Scarlet Spider. And, I mean, I still kind of don't care about Scarlet Spider. Nothing against Scarlet Spider. But I'm enjoying his tie-ins a lot more than the main books.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
absolutely.
I really... Like, me and Ray read some because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got me on board there.
Yeah. Which is it's a useful reason for an event.
To kind of get new followers as well.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, for sure.
Not entirely with it. I'm very Iron Fist focused today.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. As we all should be.
Yeah.
But first of all,
actually,
you have news, Connor. Not Iron Fist.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, I do have... I am opening with some Iron Fist news, because I do want to try and keep this to be an Iron Fist podcast sometimes. The Luke Cage is airing very soon.
Yeah.
Season 2. And Danny Rand will be appearing in that. We don't know how much. Probably not. I'm guessing not a regular. I'm guessing he won't be in every episode. He'll probably be like... I'm guessing maybe 1 episode, or optimistically maybe the same amount that Luke Cage was in the first season of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I think we'd probably know about it if he was going to be in it that long. I would say 1 to 3 episodes.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
I thought it would be the latter. I thought it would have been kind of like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, but
I think we'd know more. I think Misty might be more in.
Right.
I mean, Misty obviously will, because she's currently a Luke Cage character. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit. It's a. Are you up to date with all the shows, Ray?
Oh, Connor, I am totally up to date. I love the TV shows.
Okay.
So yeah, absolutely.
Because Iron Fist is left in a bit of a weird position. He's sort of taken over Daredevil's role for the time being. So I feel like you can't really put him in other shows too much before his own series starts, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think you're right, and I tend to forget about his position after Defenders. But you're right. I mean, how do you factor him in to Luke Cage when he's
I feel like if he's in anything a bit, he'll be in Daredevil because his ending is like Daredevil's going to come back, and, so they'll have to do something with that because that's how they set it up. I think ideally, who knows? It's hurting my head. Let's.
Well, can I just ask?
I'm excited.
Yeah, can I just ask also as well, like, what are your thoughts on having the first Iron Fist season 1, come and go, and having all its baggage with it? What are your thoughts on the upcoming season 2 for Iron Fist? Let me start. I'm excited. Like, I think they'll probably learn a lot from season 1, and me being the eternal optimist, I reckon they'll probably learn from that, and we may see more of a kung fu actiony thing. I think they'll kind of streamline the show more to how everyone responded. That's how I see it. Is that along the lines?
I think he's had longer to train. So they might need less reliance on stunt people as early on in the fights.
Yeah.
Or they might be able to do better fights. So that's one good thing.
Yeah.
Number 2, different showrunner, which I think will make the biggest difference.
Exactly. Scott Buck, get out of there.
Yeah, because let's face it, Scott Buck.
Yeah.
Really,
terrible track record.
Yeah.
Terrible track record. And that being said, you all know I enjoyed the Iron Fist series, but he then went on and crashed the Inhumans, which should have been a fairly simple show to like at least get some sense of royal household with, and not do as sort of like whatever.
Yeah.
So I've got hope for it, but I don't know. I mean, like, they're always a bit of a gamble. I still wish they were all only 10 episodes long and not 13, but I'm looking forward to it. It's a case of I don't think it'll have the same almost campaign of hatred beforehand.
I hope not.
The series 1 had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I think a lot of people will still be like, "Oh, I'm still not interested. I'm still not watching." But I don't think it'll quite be headline news still.
Yeah.
On every site you go to is like reasons why you should hate Iron Fist, and it's just like it's tiring because like when you've been a long time fan, and like even however much you understand the argument, it's still something that is quite depressing.
The worst part was they were all like, this is how you should do Iron Fist. And this is why I was like, hey, I'm the Iron Fist fan. You've obviously never freaking picked up an Iron Fist comic book, so don't tell me how you do Iron Fist. It's just, But season 2 of Iron Fist, I'm excited. I really enjoyed the first season.
Yeah, me too. I really liked it.
I did not have many problems with it. My main problem was that the Hand were the bad guys, and that's my main concern for season 2.
Oh, but surely they're gone now, hopefully. I mean, I know we saw Madame Gao kind of depart quietly at the end of Defenders, but I'm hoping as well. Like, that's it for the Hand for at least the time being. I just we've had rumors of Lady Gorgon, who is a member of the Hand, and it looks pretty likely that she'll be a villain in Iron Fist season 2. And I just think there's so much mythology from Iron Fist that you should be using, and not from, just generic. Not that the Hand are generic ninjas, but they've kind of turned into generic ninjas for Iron Fist. It's like, let's just, I'm hoping Davos will be one of the focal points, because they seem to set up him pretty well. Yeah. And like they have a real rivalry happening there, because they started to kind of tease that out towards the end of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope he'll be the major villain, and he won't just be some lackey. Well, I mean that's classic Davos, so he does usually end up being a lackey for someone. But I guess it's just too early to tell. But I think, as Rebecca said, a really awesome thing is that he's had so long to train.
Oh, for sure. And can I also...
For the fight scenes.
Again, sorry, can I also ask, as a novice Iron Fist fan, so I've always kind of wondered these things, with Davos in Season 1, he makes those, like, shurikens out of foil. Is that, like, a thing for him, or was that purely from the TV show? Or
That was just from the TV show, I think.
Okay, because
I think so too.
Okay, yeah, because it was quite random. I thought you never see him do something like that again, but it seemed like a pretty badass,
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, a pretty cool thing to do. But then that's it. That's the end of it. So I wonder if it was a reference to something, or But
I just saw it as a sort of martial artsy thing, like making weapons out of stuff that's lying around.
Yeah.
I mean, shurikens out of aluminium's pretty extreme, I guess, but I get what they were going for.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's not a shuriken guy.
Right.
In the comics, anyway. Yeah, my only problem with Davos is that he's so short in the show.
Oh, I adore him. Shush.
Oh well. Okay.
I know Rebecca's
People
thoughts
can't
on
always
him.
be perfect. He's perfect in every other way, and he's British.
And he's British, yeah.
Oh, yes.
And he's training hard as well. I've seen him tweet some of his regimes.
Yeah,
he's getting back into it. So that's dedication.
Yeah, I hope David Sakurai comes back as Scythe. That would be nice.
That would be
He
nice.
was cool.
Yeah, he was funny.
But I haven't heard anything
No.
on that front. So.
I've not actually looked, to be honest. So because we know we've got Daredevil, like we've got Luke Cage, then Daredevil. I imagine that around the time of Daredevil, we'll get some more interesting information about Iron Fist.
Yeah, it's not even at the point, I think, where I think we still have over a year to wait.
No, I don't think they're that long.
Oh, because they're doing 3.
Yeah,
each
now
year
they're doing
aren't
3.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be next summer.
Okay.
I guess that is a year. Don't ignore me. Because if say Daredevil's like, well, maybe spring, maybe go Daredevil, but we also got another Punisher series to fit in.
Yeah, when's that coming in?
And then
Don't know, but well, we know they're filming Iron Fist already, right?
Yeah.
Or they're going
Yeah.
to. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, it'll happen when it happens.
yeah, and I might try that really suspicious Chinese place across the road. Really suspicious. I can send photos. It just looks.
Do it.
It can't be a front because it'd be too obvious if it was a front. It's just. Yeah. Anyway. So, moving on to some other news. This is more just comic related news. As we all know, Superman turned 80 recently, and he had Action Comics 1000 came out.
Yay!
Yeah, that's great.
Yay!
The first 4 digits, right?
Yeah.
The first 4 digits, comic book ever.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think there's been a.
Pretty
not like a mainstream comic anyway. Like there might be indie comic writers that just pump out things every single week or something.
Yeah.
But
And surely, and almost certainly web comics, but yeah, it's the first biggie,
Yeah.
and then Detective will be next year.
Not too far behind.
And next year, Detective.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay. Actual, it makes sense. 1939. So yeah, but I was looking around, and have you guys seen Kill Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah, you know that speech about Superman in it? That's kind of famous on the internet, I guess. Okay, well, I have it up here, so it's a dramatic monologue, so I'll read it out. And I really hate this speech. Just putting it out there, and I feel like it's just written by a guy who knows absolutely nothing about Superman. But I'll let you guys tell me what you think after I read it. So, here it is. As you know, I'm quite keen on comic books, especially the ones about superheroes. I find the whole mythology surrounding superheroes fascinating. Take my favorite superhero, Superman. Not a great comic book, not particularly well drawn, but the mythology. The mythology is not only great, it's unique. Now, a staple of the superhero mythology is that there's the superhero and there's the alter ego. Batman is actually Bruce Wayne, Spider-Man is actually Peter Parker. When that character wakes up in the morning, he's Peter Parker. He has to put on the costume to become Spider-Man. And it is in that characteristic that Superman stands alone. Superman didn't become Superman. Superman was born Superman. When Superman wakes up in the morning, he's Superman. His alter ego is Clark Kent. His outfit with the big red S, that's the blanket he was wrapped in as a baby when the Kents found him. Those are his clothes. What Kent wears, the glasses, the business suit, that's the costume. That's the costume Superman wears to blend in with us. Clark Kent is how Superman views us. And what are the characteristics of Clark Kent? He's weak, he's unsure of himself, he's a coward. Clark Kent is Superman's critique on the whole human race. That's the end of the Superman portion of the monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lame.
And
that's really weird. I think that's an excuse of just to try and be a little different, I guess. Right?
Yeah, it's like and my problem is this quote is always being thrown around when it comes to like the character of Superman and stuff. And there was a recent article saying Superman writers try to settle that Kill Bill Clark Kent debate. And all of these writers, so we have Marv Wolfman, Dan Jurgens, Bendis, for some reason he's on the panel, but whatever. And they're all pretty much saying like that's wrong. And it just bugs me. I just want to clear the record. Superman has never been condescending towards humanity. No version of Superman is like that. Like I'm assuming he's getting this from the Christopher Reeve movies, but the Christopher Reeve Superman wasn't an arrogant big jerk. Like he didn't look down on humanity. It just completely misses the point of the character.
Exactly.
And
I mean,
I just want to.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, just not being a fan at all. But isn't the whole thing with Superman about how big a heart he has? Kind of similar to Captain America. Like, so I can't see him condescending, looking down on humanity at all as well. That's ridiculous.
His Clark Kent disguise is. I mean, there's a lot of arguments about it, but I mean, I think its primary purpose is so he either gets some downtime or he just blends in. There's no more higher meaning to that. And I guess the thing is, even Bendis agrees, guys. Like, Bendis is like, no, that's not right. Like,
absolutely. I can't. And to actually call also the very first things. Look, I'm not a big DC fan at all, but I'm very limited in knowledge. But even calling out first up, the comic books aren't well written or aren't well drawn. I mean, that's a bit of an early blow, isn't it?
Yeah, that's another big one as well. I'm just sick of people throwing around that monologue like it's evidence.
Yeah, and also the fact as well, like the fact, trying to twist it around about like he wakes up and he is Superman. I mean, could you not argue the fact that Bruce Wayne, like, is Batman? Like,
wakes up and is Batman. He is, of course he is.
Exactly. So it falls apart when you start thinking that Superman is Superman inherently, because all heroes aren't they inherently what they are?
And even if you were going to argue superpowers versus not superpowers, it would discount the entire X-Men.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 100%. Yeah. Or the Inhumans or whatever. It's all crazy.
Yeah, or whichever version of powered superhero you pick.
Yeah.
There's a hell of a lot of them that aren't Superman. I mean, like, Superman's, I don't know, it's a very bizarre thing. But it's very Tarantino thing as well.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds clever.
Yes, that's
but
it.
when you pull it apart, it's not very clever.
Yeah, trying to sound clever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's like, ooh, look at me. This is my big think piece on it.
I've got this deep thought about Superman.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like, well, it just doesn't apply to the character at all.
Yeah.
And that's another good point, actually, Ray. It's like, most writers, I think, write Batman. Like, Batman is the true persona, not Bruce Wayne. Yeah. It's not always the case, but
that's exactly.
They certainly have in recent years. I think maybe Tom King's slightly turning it back to Bruce Wayne as the focus.
I mean, my favorite Batman is the first 12 issues where he's a lunatic. Doesn't particularly care if the criminals die, and like he gets his rocks off if he's Batman. If he's Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wayne is obviously a facade in his early appearances.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry guys, that was just the rant I wanted to get out of the way, clear the air on Kill Bill Volume 2, which has bugged me for a long time. And I saw that Bendis got in on it, and I'm like, well, you know what? If Bendis is in on it, I got to bring it up. So
that's it.
But
Sometimes you've got to side. You've got to side with the enemy to fight a greater enemy.
Signing with Bendis a bit too much lately. He's going to do something soon that'll just like annoy everyone, though. So,
well, you'll see his first Man of Steel issue. Maybe that will be your breaking point.
Ooh, what do you reckon there, Connor?
Oh, has he already done something?
Well, no, but I'm just saying once he's writing Superman, I'm sure he'll find a reason to. I'm sure you will be annoyed with him at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you scared, or
Probably.
like, what are you like? What are your thoughts on this Bendis thing coming up? I mean, for Superman, of all,
I think
of all
Rebecca. I think Rebecca should be more scared than me because she's the one who's reading the ongoing.
I'm not going to be reading it under Bendis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not reading it under Bendis.
That's a protest.
Well, look, a lot of it is because there are too many comics I want to buy that start in May, June. And it's been quite hard to whittle down the list. And when somebody puts out a weekly title, it's very easy to say nah. So
Yeah.
I might read the first one on like digital, like, but the truth is I'm more likely to see what people make of it and maybe buy the trade. Because it's not like it's not some, I mean, there's lots of Bendis stuff I've liked. So, you know, like of all the three of us, I'm probably the most pro Bendis. But, so it's not that. It's just a case of there's a lot of Marvel stuff coming up I want to buy. We all know I'm more Marvel than DC, and you know the Superman run I was reading came to quite a nice ending just this week. So
Okay.
I feel like I can take a break from it and then jump in at the trade if people say it's good. It's not a protest. It's just oh god, there's so many.
Yeah.
Because I've also got Valiant's
Yeah.
doing a big event in May, and they're going to have a couple of issues. So everything's suddenly it's just the money thing.
There is just too much goodness out
You
there,
know.
basically.
Yeah, although Iron Fist is gone, so I guess
Yeah.
you know
Scratch that off the list. Comics are so expensive.
they are so
are.
expensive.
Very
now.
much.
So you know, it's a balancing act.
Like I can barely get just Iron Fist. I couldn't even imagine like getting all my favorites. That would be like 4 or 5 comics, and that's
It's a lot of money.
it's like $50.
Yeah.
You know, it's just crazy.
And you guys, you pay even more. Like I'm thinking
Yeah.
about getting Avengers, and it's like it's double shipping.
I know.
So that's £8 a
Ugh.
month. You know, like
Oh my god.
just for one title, and it's like, or picking one that only comes out once a month and paying half of that. You know, it's a consistent juggling act, and this summer is where a lot of mine switch around. It looks like.
I guess is
and
digital a cheaper option?
Yeah.
It's not a huge amount cheaper.
Well,
is the problem.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
for Aussies at least, conversion-wise, say for instance, for a hard copy floppy, you'd get like it's about $7, $7.50, and for digital, it ranges from just under $6 to maybe $6. So there's a little bit, yeah, bit of a difference.
So expensive.
I know.
Mine, ours is about, I don't know, 50p cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
So
okay.
And up here it's like $9 to $12
What?
for a single floppy. Yeah.
What? Really? Oh man.
I'll have another check. Like
That is real expensive.
oh wait, no, you're right. I've just been looking at the.
he's been looking at Action.
So-
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
there's other comics. Some comics just seem to be like a lot more expensive than other ones.
Right.
No, I'm
that
sure of it.
Like Batman: Creature of the Night. 3
Yes.
out of 4. That's $11.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Prestige format. So.
Oh, is that what it is? 'Cause
Yeah.
that costs the same here as
Yep.
a
Oh,
normal Marvel one.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
they're getting gypped.
But yeah, so it's just, I don't know. It's crazy, and I think genuinely we're at a point where there's a lot of good comics out or about to come out. You know, and there's also like the Sandman things coming back, Sandman Universe.
Really?
Yeah, and I think I managed to persuade my sister to buy it so I can borrow them all.
Oh. That's a nice technique. Yeah. Spread it out. Yeah.
You really want to order all of them, don't you? And,
Is Neil attached?
He's overseeing it all.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's good.
So yeah, And they've got good creative teams as well. And then there's the DC Black Label stuff that looks interesting. Which is people like Kelly Sue DeConnick doing a Wonder Woman comic, but it's only going to be like 3 issues. It sounds a bit like Marvel Knights, it's not entirely main canon, but it can be a bit more adult and stuff like that.
Like Marvel.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things like that just on the horizon that I'm also kind of aware of that I'd like to get, but then, there's, I don't know, comics, right? It really has become more of a juggling act this year than I've had in almost any other year. It's just on, I don't know what to do a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is a relief. I mean, not to say that this is for the Iron Fist series, but yeah, sometimes...
No, but you're right. Sometimes I've bought a lot of miniseries because, like, when they come to an end, like, let's use Damnation. It's like, I'm not sorry for Damnation to be coming to an end because it means I can buy something else next month instead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was not sorry to see Power Man and Iron Fist come to an end.
We know.
God, I couldn't wait for that to end. Well, with Iron Fist ending, there's a silver lining because now we can decide like what run we're going to tackle next.
Yeah.
Because we neglect the other stuff.
If you have thoughts about what you want us to tackle next, email Connor. He'll be very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I did a poll a few months back, and the most popular vote was for the entirety of the Power Man and Iron Fist series.
Oh, nice.
which is a good option, but I would like if all the trades are out for it.
Oh, are they not?
No, not yet.
Really?
I've got the first 2 Epic collections, but the third one hasn't come out yet.
Oh, you mean the older ones,
So
not the one that you were just talking about, not the David F.
The original one.
Yeah.
We cover the newer one.
That's it. Yeah,
that's right.
So.
Yeah. But so let us know. I might put another poll up. Maybe people will want to have Immortal Iron Fist covered, get some Orson Randall goodness. But we'll figure that out later. So let's finally get to this issue, shall we?
Yes.
Excellent. So Iron Fist number 80. Danny Rand in a battle for his very soul. So let's start by talking about this cover.
Yes. Pull the cover up. It's very red.
It is very red.
Yes.
I love these covers. These covers are great.
I do too.
They're so cool.
Yeah, it's really good. It's actually in Iron Man colours. I'm just going to point that out. Red and gold.
Yeah.
It looks like... The funny thing is, it almost follows on from 2 weeks ago's issue. Because where you saw him like preparing to fight a demon-type person, now he's actually fighting a red demon-type person. With pointy ears and pointy... Yeah, kicking their face in a big flying kick. He's got his collars up, even though he doesn't have that in his current costume.
Yeah.
I don't think. Cheering demons underneath, watching the cage match fight.
I like the tongue wagging out of the guy.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of weird covers throughout this whole run, but I think as a whole the covers have been fantastic.
Yeah, Jeff DeCal done a great job. I think he's coming to a Comic-Con near me this year, and I intend to tell him what a good job I think he's done with the Iron Fist covers.
And he's a big fan.
You going to get any covers signed?
Almost certainly. I have no idea which ones because I don't want to take too much, but I'll see which ones I like and see if I can get him to sign maybe a couple. Yeah, I have to try to find out which con it was. Make sure it's definitely one I'm going to. But yeah, it's on the plan. So,
it's the last cover for this run, possibly the last Jeff DeCal Iron Fist cover. So,
do you have any favourites?
But yeah,
any favourite covers out of the whole DeCal run?
I don't know. I don't remember them all, but I'm sure there were.
I think it was issue 3 where he's fighting the dude with no arms.
Oh yes.
Oh, that was a good one.
And even though Carl pointed out something weird with the foot, it's still my favorite. I think.
Yeah, I remember that one.
No, I did like that one.
Yeah, number 1 was pretty good, I thought as well.
Although I've got number 1. I have number 1 signed by Thingy, Mike Perkins.
Alan.
Oh, I like number 4's quite nice as well.
With the wolves?
This one, no, it's him in his, like, reflected on his forehead is kind of UT and stuff. It's pretty cool.
UT, what a guy. Is he dead? No, he's just hiding somewhere, isn't he?
Sparrow's the UT now.
Oh, the old evil mustache UT.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I can't remember entirely. I think you're right, not dead.
He was a bit of a weasel,
He's great,
wasn't he?
though. What a jerk.
Yeah, he was really... Yeah, he's one that you'd love to hate. He was really kind of a weasel, I thought.
Total weasel.
He seemed like a nice guy for the first 2 issues, and then when you saw him again, he's like, oh man, I just want this guy to die. And it's like, oh wow, this guy's a real jerk. So, I'll read this recap out. Daniel Rand was orphaned in the mystical city of Kunlun as a child. There he grew up to conquer a series of trials to become the Iron Fist, Kunlun's chief field defender of the innocent. The Hotel Inferno, a demonic casino in Las Vegas that appeared after Doctor Strange magically resurrected the city, is hosting a landmark event. Iron Fist fights 24 opponents in 24 hours. Daniel was surprised to hear of this event when he met up with Fat Cobra warding off demons in the streets, and was downright shocked to see former and dead Iron Fist Orson Randall was the marquee fighter. As Orson's next match began against Danny's own half-sister Miranda, arena promoted Decay offered Danny and Fat Cobra a choice: fight for him and free the dead souls of their loved ones, or lose them forever. And sorry, Ray, I should have gotten you to read that out because you're the guest.
That's okay.
And, yeah. Do you want to read out the credits?
Yeah, sure. So, writer was Ed Brisson, the artist Damien Cusiero, and Andy Troy, colour artist. We have VC's Travis Lanham as letterer, Jeff DeCal, as we mentioned, cover artist, and editor Mark Basso.
Awesome. Yeah, so on the subject of DK, actually no, we'll get to DK later when he pops up again. So yeah, we are in the Octagon with a bunch of demons cheering at the Hotel Inferno. We have Miranda fighting Orson, and Orson's on his back foot. Gets smacked in the face with a Black Eagle Talon kick, and she's calling him a coward who turned his back on Kunlun, which is I don't really think that's true.
Do you know what? I can see how residents of Kunlun at the time would have been told that, though.
Oh, he'd be the black sheep, Iron Fist, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, there would be propaganda saying, this guy is a jerk.
So, given that they've not met before, it's probably not an unreasonable... In fact, she's, in this fight, gives us a little bit more of his background for people who've not read any Orson.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think that's how she'd view him.
Yeah. I mean, he had his reasons for leaving Kunlun, because he totally killed one of the champions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was buggered off, so... But, is it me or does Orson just look like an old Danny?
Yeah,
he does. Yeah, very much so.
It's
Maybe they're going to get some time travel hijinks at one point.
That would be fun.
Turns out to be, Danny from the future.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
And he's fought Shao Lao 2 times for some reason.
Yeah, and he can now use guns. But yeah, so they're having a pretty fun fight.
Can I ask? Can I ask also Miranda? So she's quite proficient in the martial arts as well, and I know she's a half sister. But what was how come she's so good at fighting as well? Is she something to do with the Iron Fist as well?
No, she doesn't have any special stuff going on. She just back in her day, women pretty much never trained in martial arts, but she had a partner. Mm-hmm. I can't remember if it was her boyfriend or something, but they trained a lot together.
Didn't they eventually married, and that's why they left Kunlun, because it was frowned on.
Okay.
It's kind of the opposite of that. It's horrible and tragic. This is going to be hilarious to recount. So
it's pretty tragic.
Basically, she learns to fight, and it establishes she is a pretty good fighter.
It does.
With her partner. But they help. Danny's getting jumped by like a bunch of essentially racist people from Kunlun. It's like, screw you, foreigner, and they save his butt. But then plant people, they get exiled. Mm-hmm. No, they don't get exiled. They get found out, and the punishment for that is a complete mind wipe.
Right.
So they decide to run away, and they get kidnapped by plant people. Her partner dies horribly. She nearly dies horribly.
Yeah, we're pretty sure she's dead.
Mm.
Yeah, and then she just dies later again anyway. So, and the reason I think she's on the upper hand here, if briefly, is because Orson is pretty knackered.
Yeah, that's true.
And she's just fresh out of the cage.
Yeah.
And hey, Orson ends up winning this fight anyway, so...
Yeah, he was struggling, wasn't he, at the last issue? Because he...
Yeah,
what did
but
he
does pull out his iron fist in order to, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, he's been fighting, like, huge demons and stuff. Like, he one-hit KO that Ghost Rider villain.
Yeah,
so.
the Deacon. Yeah, he's nothing, no slouch as well. He's pretty mean.
No, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I love his facial expression as he's looking at Danny.
Yeah, so Danny comes to stop the fight.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Miranda's like, Danny, and Orson just looks, grrr.
Love that line as well. I'll give your regards to the UT.
Yeah.
Just as about, he's almost about to send her, packing.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is like the WWE. You expect Danny to throw a chair in or something. It's like, no, she's my sister. What? And all the crowd's like,
Yeah. The art's pretty good in this, in the fact that what I noticed straight away was, the spotlights you see in the arena. It really gives you that feel that, you're I don't know.
Stadium feel.
Yeah, the real stadium feel.
No, definitely.
Like, it's a simple effect, but it really works.
Yeah, but he's an old softy, Orson, because as soon as he hears her, hears that she's his sister, his iron fist starts powering down.
Yeah.
So he's not going to turn her head into mashed potato. What a nice guy.
And I do love...
and then you get another of their classic to and fro's.
Oh, I was about to say Fat Cobra. I really love it there. He's, trying to butter up, Miranda.
He's definitely being very flirty with Miranda.
He is, isn't he? Yeah. But she's having nothing to do with it. I can get up on my own, she says. So, yeah.
He's flirty with everyone.
Yeah.
We got to remember Fat Cobra is possibly the best fighter here.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what I was going to ask as well, and what I thought, if we're looking at the characters, because I do remember Fat Cobra from Fraction's run, and he was like really deadly, right? And he's kind of taken a little bit as the light humor, like over here as well. Has he been shown as that, like that, recently?
Have you read the Immortal Weapons miniseries?
Not all of it, no.
It basically, each issue focuses on one of the weapons.
Okay, yeah.
And Fat Cobra's backstory is like really messed up and tragic.
Yeah, right.
So he's not purely... There is a lot to his character, and you can see why he's like a devastating fighting machine. Like, I mean, he knocked out Danny in that tournament. I know a lot of people think Danny threw that fight, but the way I remember it, Fat Cobra just beat the crap out of him. I guess, do you have any thoughts on that, Rebecca?
I think Fat Cobra could beat the shit out of Danny, but I believe that Danny may have wanted to end that fight quickly, so probably didn't put as much. I don't know if he threw it as much as was kind of distracted by what he wanted to do instead. So I would say one of those two. Danny wasn't fighting at his top form, but
Danny's gotten a lot better.
Anyway. Yeah, he has
since then as well.
I guess having said that as well,
he turns into.
Yeah, I guess Danny's pretty light-hearted as well. And I guess being a good fighter doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be an intense one. So yeah, I guess so. I was surprised at Fat Cobra. I thought he would have been a little bit more intense, because I know he's a good fighter, but then again, like I said, Danny's pretty chirpy as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Danny's only become lighthearted again very recently, I think, because he was lighthearted in Immortal, and then Living Weapon came around, and he's been miserable for ages until pretty much the end of his run, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was goofy in the Power Man Iron Fist run that you don't like, but now he's kind of... I think now he's got that balance more of serious when needs to be, and slightly sarcastic rather than a total
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because that as I've said, that my main complaint about Immortal Iron Fist is Danny was just a bit too goofy and lighthearted in that run. Because if you read early Iron Fist, he's so serious.
Yeah, he's pretty serious, but I mean,
I
just see it
characters change
up
and
a
stuff.
bit. But I also see him loosening up a
definitely.
bit. Because he did have a pretty terrible upbringing for humour. Can't imagine the monks making many jokes they beat him. But it is nice to. I mean, you got to also remember, like when we see them hugging and saying it's good to see each other, from Miranda and Danny here, that they haven't met that many times. Not really.
Yeah, and she was an antagonist.
Yeah.
When they met outside of Kunlun, up until the end of that arc where she died.
But they are obviously all the family either of them have. So there's a definite...
Yeah, it is heartwarming. Sorry. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, heartwarming when they hugged. It was good.
Sorry if I'm a bit off my game tonight, listeners. I'm shivering uncontrollably because I'm still sick. So, yeah.
But anyway, DK basically turns up to explain what foolish thing Danny has done now. Danny and his chunky Cobra friend have valiantly offered to put their lives on the line in order to save both of you. And then you see Fat Cobra's mother being rude to a demon, basically hands off to him.
Oh, yeah.
Orson's horrified. Like, what did you do, Danny? Danny's like, well, duh, I was obviously going to do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. And then Decay explains a bit more about it, and it's totally not what I predicted last time. He's not going to make Danny fight Orson, which would have been so much more angst-ridden. Yeah. But instead, because we've only got one issue, he's going to make the 4 of them fight the remaining 12 opponents. The last side standing wins their souls and their freedom. The losers will spend the rest of eternity in the most gruesome, violent, depraved depths of hell. So that's the setup for the issue. We've got 4 against 12, but 4 really good martial artists.
Well, and Fat Cobra's mother.
Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't do a lot of fighting, if I remember rightly. But yeah, she's there for amusement as well.
She's kind of like a Madame Gao, isn't she? She just steps in when she needs to.
Yeah, but probably less thought about it.
Yeah.
But where is really mad with Danny?
Yeah.
Where's who?
Prince of Orphans.
I would love to know that. He's my absolute...
Because he showed up in Kunlun.
He did.
And booted Danny, and then we just never seen him again.
I want to see what the Prince of Orphans is up to.
At least we're getting Fat Cobra.
Yeah. He's that really kind of deadly dude, isn't he? That seems to be the most mysterious out of all the weapons.
Yeah. He's pretty much alluded to be the Amazing Man, who was a character in the 30s and 40s.
Oh.
Who Iron Fist is definitely the closest. Like, he's sort of like the template for Iron Fist. I wouldn't go as far to say template, but it's very close. Like, he was raised in, like, these mountains in Tibet. The bad guy was called The Question, and he looks the exact same as the UT. Mm-hmm. And there's like the Prince of Orphans and him have the same name, and like they have the same powers and stuff. So there's a lot of interesting stuff there, actually. Yeah. We talk about it a lot in our first episode, I believe, because Prince of Orphans is very underused because he, in a meta sense, he just has such a big part of. He's just such a big part of Iron Fist, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he should be used a lot more than he is.
Yeah. And did he die? Is that are we expecting to see him in hell as well, or
no?
Okay. No, just expecting to see him somewhere.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I don't think we've ever seen anyone even come close to beating Prince of Orphans.
Right. Wow.
No.
Like, he just seems to be kind of above everyone.
Cool.
Yeah, he just kind of whooshes in and does mysterious things and then whooshes out again.
Yeah, and berates people.
Yeah, or leaves Iron Fist to fight dragons and things.
Yeah. Really big dragons. That was
really
awesome.
Big dragons. That was awesome. It's one of my favorite things. Like that. That's where Danny's being funny but not goofy. Where he's been like going like, you could have mentioned there was a dragon. You know, like that's the kind of humor I expect from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then no, such a good issue. I'll put that issue in the show notes. I'll put the Immortal Weapons issues in the show notes because they're very much worth reading. And they have a running subplot with Danny in them as well. So Orson's getting all, how could you sell your soul?
Yeah.
And then
and Danny's like, I couldn't stand back. I had to do it.
And he's saying like how
Fat
easy.
Cobra's mother is horrible to him. Horrible.
Rather comment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we have Miranda saying, if you give me a few more moments, I would have easily defeated this traitor. And Orson's like, no, but that's not the point.
He really does have his mansplaining hand up there as well. No, stop, little girl.
Talk to the hand.
Yeah. But
There's some great little details in the next panel as well, with like as Orson's telling him off, and Danny's got both his hands on his head.
Oh yeah. And then Fat Cobra's mum.
He's putting his mask on.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. True. He's tying it.
But
and Fat Cobra is just super happy to have finally met his mother, and she's just saying, "You overgrown baboon, you're going to get me killed for a second time," because she died when she gave birth to him because he was huge.
Yeah,
she's
30 times. She thought she had 30 babies in her.
Yeah, that's what she says, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a one-way street.
Danny's then, but there's only 12 more to go.
Yeah,
that means we only need to take 3 down.
Yep, 3 each. Yeah, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Which seems to be a very British phrase, but I guess it can't be because, like, otherwise Ed Brisson might not have written it. But I always thought it was a very British phrase, so there you go.
Anything to do with lemons is a British phrase.
We say that though. Like, do you?
We used to
say.
We used to.
Like when?
It's pretty old. It sounds
I don't
old
know,
school.
like
pretty
10
old
years
school.
ago.
In 2008, yeah.
Okay.
No.
Fair enough.
Australian lingo just gets progressively more bogan, and
It does.
just like every year there's just fewer words used to describe things in this country, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, so
income.
Yeah, I mean, usually, like, because I remember even with Carl, I was like, 24 opponents, 24 hours. That's really easy for an Iron Fist. I mean, goddamn, the Kyokushin Kumite is like the 100. I mean, that being said, not many people have completed the 100-man fight, but that's like all done at once. But this is 12 huge demons called the Legion of Vengeance.
Yeah.
Now, I did a lot of research into this today.
Yes.
Because I saw these guys allegedly appeared in the same issue that Decay appeared in.
Oh, all the way back. Yeah.
I dug out my Iron Fist Book of Changes trade paperback, and I read the Ghost Rider and Iron Fist team up, which had Decay and these guys in it, and it was actually a really good read. I enjoyed it. It was a bit more of a Ghost Rider story, but it was good. Very violent as well.
Right.
And Legion of Vengeance in that is not these guys. So these guys are completely new, but they have the same name. So I thought that was a bit weird because Decay was in that team up. That was like his debut, and this is the only other time Decay's shown up. So I'm not. Maybe he just made a new Legion of Vengeance. But his old Legion of Vengeance, basically he corrupted 4 people, made them think they were heroes, and he was going to use them to essentially put the world into the apocalypse. It was like a big, huge plan. But now he's just turned into like Mike Tyson's manager.
Yeah. Does he look?
But
like...
yeah, it was just interesting.
Yeah. Does he
look
like
the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a lot bigger and redder, and he's not wearing clothes.
Ah.
Like he seemed a lot more powerful in the Ghost Rider Iron Fist team up. Like they never actually took him out themselves. Right. They were just in his realm briefly. But I guess in this he's on Earth, so obviously he'd probably have a lot less power.
Yeah.
On Earth, and Iron Fist could probably kick the crap out of him pretty easily by himself. But back in those things, it was like like it needed Iron Fist and Ghost Rider to sort of deal with his stuff. But yeah, I just thought I'd do that research because it was bugging me, and there you go. This Legion of Vengeance, completely new creation. Mm-hmm. But I love how that demon's just eating this dude casually.
Yeah, as he walks in.
As he walks in. He just picks up some guy from the
some poor soul. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I wonder who.
But yeah, these guys.
I wonder who designed these. It's probably if it's Damien. Because he'd have a field day, wouldn't he? Like one issue to go. Let's do a Legion of Vengeance. Let's just go for it. Do what you want. So
I mean, this sort of stuff would be like an artist's certain artists like Wet Dream, right? Like you just draw something. You can just kind of do what you want, really.
Yeah. Expendable, you know.
Like, I love the fat tentacle guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't have to appear again either.
Yeah, exactly. They can just be whoever you want. Don't have to name them. Don't have to, just go fun, have fun.
Yeah.
But the reaction shots on the Danny, Miranda, Fat Cobra, and Orson's faces at the bottom are hilarious.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. So they're into the fight, right? So they're getting into the arena, and they're gonna do their thing against essentially, well, apart from Miranda, like three immortal weapons, and Miranda, who's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Miranda's fresh off the hell boat. Yeah. She's got the will to not be stuck in hell, so...
Yeah. I really do love the build-up here, because, as they come into the arena, Miranda kind of tightens her gloves, they all kind of consolidate and come together. Then when you turn the page, the first thing you see is a cast smack, and her Iron Fist goes flying out. So it's not exactly as you'd think.
We can do this. Boom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he actually said that hurt, so it's a pretty big hit.
Yeah. I love Orson's just constant expressions of really.
Yeah, come on, Danny. You don't make deals with the devil.
Yeah. It's like, have I taught you nothing?
Pretty much taught him nothing, except that you can have two Iron Fists at once, and there's a book of the Iron Fist.
Oh yeah, true.
I mean, he was only around for 6 issues. And
he taught him. The most important thing was teaching him about the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did teach him a lot. Like, I don't think Danny even knew there was other Iron.
No, he didn't at the time.
For him.
No. I mean, I guess he must have known vaguely, but not how regimented it was.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was more shady Kunlun politics, just not telling him.
I guess, but would you really think you were the first person who'd ever tried? Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, they I guess they made reference a lot to Danny being the first ever. I mean, who knows?
Oh. Yeah, so the fight begins.
Hate that face.
Yeah, it also has a great face.
And he gets a big one. He gets a big tentacled friggin' demon. That's a bit hard to handle. But
Orson's got a big tentacly one. Danny's got a big rocky one.
You got the rocky
Miranda
one?
seems to have a little one.
Oh, yeah, she's got the amphibian or whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Orson whines about not having his guns, and Miranda's like, "You're an Iron Fist, not an iron gun." She's clearly not seen his gun foo.
No, that's true.
That did make me laugh.
Yeah, it did make me laugh as well. Because again, we were talking about that. He was obviously like, "Oh, where's my guns?" And it's nice to see them like commenting on a lot of the things.
Yeah, I took it as Miranda being, she kind of is the one that remains focused. Like, she's kind of keeping him, focused that, you don't need your guns.
Well, she
and all
does
that.
have almost no history with these people, so it's probably easier for her to say these things.
Yeah, true, as well.
Yeah, to point these things out, she's like, why is this dude going on about guns?
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she wouldn't
Like,
know. She's never met Orson.
yeah. Like, aren't you an
Yeah.
Iron Fist? Yeah. But
Exactly. So, like, and then Danny's like, well, your sister's a real peach. Christmas must be a blast in the Rand household. Yeah, Orson, you know better than to say that.
I love these quips. This is what, the humor in this,
Yeah, it really
is really good.
And then her coming in with, we've never spent a Christmas together. Not only that, but both my parents are dead. He didn't know I existed. Blah, 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 blah.
And she's hitting the demon
It's a bit of
harder
an-
and harder.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an odd reunion when you think about it, because Danny's father, Wendell, his mentor, like his father figure, was Orson.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like seeing Orson with his grandkids.
It is a bit. It's kind of sweet. And then she gives you the history. She didn't know she had a brother. The rest of the family's dead. Spending some time together would be nice as blood spurts in her face.
Emu elimination kick.
That's cool.
She does another kick to the face of someone. There's some great kicking going on.
Yeah.
And then we get the
Cobra's
cat phobia who seems to have a big furry one with tusks.
Yeah.
And he's talking to his mum and saying, I'm really happy to, excited to show you what kind of man your boy grew into. So you're never a little boy. When I was pregnant, I thought you were 30 babies inside me. Only one of them was a monstrosity.
Yeah.
She's not a nice person.
She's not. She isn't, no. And one thing I always remember from this as well is like when reading first on Fat Cobra is how fast he is as well compared to his size.
Yeah, he's super fast.
So
Yeah,
that's pretty
lightning
cool.
fast.
Yeah. But he's not getting it from his mum, not getting the love.
No.
And he's going, I'm fighting for you,
Yeah.
mother. And then he gets tackled.
Yep. And then he's knocked down, but only to his arse, not to his back.
Yeah.
And she's like, if you're gonna fight, you get off your rump and fight.
Yeah. Well, she has a bit of...
He mentions... There you go.
Oh, no, I was just saying his mum, Fat Cobra's mum, shows a bit of fighting prowess there as well to kind of save him.
Yeah.
Yeah. She gets a kick and a stomp in.
Yeah.
And he does mention he defeated... I don't know how to pronounce it. Do you guys know how to pronounce it?
I'm not going to try that.
Zhang Yao, basically, he's defeated like his own island, sort of.
Yeah.
Big scary thing, and it's
Monster.
essentially it's like this huge, like multi-headed Hydra sort of thing that he killed. But I think he lost to it like 3 times before he killed it.
Right.
So he just like kept coming back, which I think is pretty awesome. Like he just survives. He's like, all right, give it another shot.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with
Danny
determination.
punches that dude's head off.
Yeah, it's just great.
I think he's dead.
He's got his iron fist out to do that, though.
The face on the guy.
Actually,
Yeah, the head lands in the lap of one of the viewers.
we reckon that's Ed Brisson. Like, there's a photo of him.
Yeah, 2 by Twilight.
I don't know. I don't think he looks like that.
Oh.
I don't believe.
He's on the last. He's on the last.
I'll
Page.
look it up while you guys continue.
Oh, Ed
Yeah.
Brisson. He's in the letters page. You look at the back, and he's standing there with a cosplayer. And
It does look a bit like him.
a little bit.
Maybe it's supposed to be him. And then he lands his foot on the back of another demon's neck. He's very into the beheading motif.
Yeah.
And then another one gets punched by him, it looks like. And Decay's getting very upset. End of them already. He's kind of yelling at the humans. You see a bit more of the fight. He's got another page of fighting. Orson being thrown around by a demon.
Mm-hmm.
Danny coming in and iron fisting the demon. And Danny's like, I got you. Can you stand? And Orson's like, no. And he's dripping blood.
Yeah, he's in bad shape.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
And I gotta point out, after Danny does that kick, that axe sort of kick on the demon's neck, he's totally striking a Bruce Lee pose in that next panel.
Oh, is he? Oh, yes, and that's one of my favourite
Oh, yeah.
panels. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, it's cool.
I reckon you can use that for many a thing. Like I said, easy peasy, lemon.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's cool. But then she heals Orson a little bit. So, bit of chi healing going on. Or he tries to, and Orson says it won't work.
Yeah.
I've been able to use chi to fight, but it doesn't work to heal down here. I tried.
Which makes sense, I guess.
It makes some sense, but not other sense, but whatever. At least they address it.
Yeah. I feel like then this overwhelming negative sort of demonic energy could hamper you healing, but like that being said, they can still use it as a weapon. So it does. I think it makes enough sense that it's like, okay, agree. I can buy that. And yeah, it looks like all the super big demons are still left standing, and it's not looking good.
Yeah, all the
for everyone else.
All the tough ones at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Orson's lit up both of his fists now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's
Miranda's getting a head stomped by that ice thing.
And Danny's like, just sit it out. We can handle them. You've done enough. You can't come back if you die. And Orson's like, I need to do this.
Yeah.
See you on the other side, Daniel Rankai. Gives him a little salute.
Is this a throwaway, you think? I mean, I thought, surely there's some way that Orson can still hang around. Did he really need to be so sacrificial?
Well, we'll definitely get into that. I'm definitely going to get into that.
Yeah. But he runs in and he goes to the demons and he takes the rest of them out with his double iron fist. Does he take them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny runs over to Orson, ends up with holding his head in his hands.
Yeah, it's a bit sad.
Danny's crying.
Yeah, it's a sad departure.
As pointed out before, he hasn't cried many times.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said.
That's another one. So what are your thoughts on him dying? Or being brought back to die?
I do like how he died. I like how he used pretty much so much chi that I think he used his life force as well to deliver that blow. That's the idea I got, and I like how he actually sort of fades away.
Yeah, that was very nice.
In Danny's arms.
Yeah, it was a nice touch. I just thought maybe because he, in the last couple of issues, he's fighting so hard to get out of hell. Like he really doesn't want to be there. So, I mean, I guess it's a sign of nobility. Like he actually gave his life for the others. But he didn't know. He didn't when he was fighting. He didn't know Danny was there, and I think if Danny's life was ever on the line, I think Orson would easily give it up because I guess this brings me to my problem with this death is that it's so similar to his previous death. It was, he pretty much willingly died himself to give all of his power to Danny, which was probably the biggest power-up Danny's had because he got the power of 2 Iron Fists, essentially. He got all of Orson's powers.
Yeah.
And that killed Orson in the process, but he gave Danny his powers so that Danny could beat Davos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Davos was just being a rapscallion at that point, like he always is. So, it just feels a bit redundant to me because they brought him back just to die again really quickly, and he was only originally alive for 6 issues. Most of the stuff that we've seen of Orson has been flashbacks and period pieces.
Yeah.
So it's disappointing in that sense. Sorry. 1 sec.
No, it's alright. I'll just give you my thoughts on it. I wasn't too worried or upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we kind of knew we'd either get Orson or Miranda survive this, if anyone was going to.
Yeah.
And I think Miranda gives new writers some interesting options.
Yeah.
And sort of a family relationship to explore for Danny that hasn't really been touched on enough. And it did seem like an awesome thing. It seemed like a man who's aging and getting to the end of his life, and there probably shouldn't have been 2 Iron Fists at the same time kind of thing. getting, sort of like accepting the sacrifice was needed. But I mean, I agree with you about the similarities, but I guess they're gambling on also that a lot of people will be coming to Iron Fist through this run. Watching Netflix and seeing this run, and it wouldn't. I mean, it's still a long time since that happened in Immortal as well.
Yeah.
And you're right. If he's the kind of person who'd sacrifice himself, then I guess he's like to have another sacrificial. And or you could say it's another fight, another death you could blame on Danny, because if Danny hadn't made a deal with the devil, Orson might have survived the fight.
Yeah. But then Miranda might not
died.
have. So
yeah.
But like it, I get you. It's just. Yeah, it just feels too similar, but you do have a point about how there's new readers and stuff. It's just like in another 10 years, is also going to come back and die again in like 3 issues.
Yeah, they'll probably find out his sacrifice sent him to heaven instead, and blah, blah, blah.
Well, he's such a.
It is interesting, like where he's gone now.
Yeah.
Well, I assume that would be how it played out, except he made a deal with the devil, so that might take precedence that whoever loses goes to hell. Regardless of how they lost, I don't know.
Well, they mentioned that because Danny was saying like if you die here, I'm assuming he's talking about like hell, like you cannot come back.
Well, then maybe that's the answer as well. Yeah. No more using Orson.
Oh, but he's such a cool. Cool character.
They could tell historical stories. Don't worry.
That's what I want. I want period pieces of Orson, but. I keep saying it, and I never get them.
I mean, like, if this issue is anything to go by, like, the characterization, I think, of Orson, he was great. We were talking about the quips and the sarcasm as well. I think he's such a really entertaining character.
He's such a good character, yeah.
And he's a awesome fighter as well, so, yeah.
He's brutal, yeah,
Yeah, but I do love to see Miranda, and as you say, Rebecca, that will open up just doors, won't it, for writers to start exploring. And
it's also, I mean, like, not going to get on this horse for too long, but if you're thinking about opening up diversity in books, then actually having a legit female character who is part of this character's history already, but suddenly resurrecting her, is a very organic way to do it.
Yeah. Exactly, and
I guess Colleen wouldn't really count anymore, would she?
Well, or Colleen's always been around, but more on the sort of the edges of his story. Like, I don't know. It was more in the. It's not been anything too recent. Yeah. And I guess it has. Yeah. They had the Defenders runs or the Heroes for Hire runs and stuff, but it's just I don't know. It's just another one you can bring in. He's always had a very female cast because he's always had Misty, Colleen. Yeah. And, there's always been more women around him probably than men, but compared to some of the other superheroes. But it's just another one to throw in the mix.
Yeah,
well, I'd like to see Joy come back.
I don't know. I didn't like her the last time.
What happened to her? Where did she end up?
When was the last time?
I don't know. The last time I read her was in that... Oh, no, I'll tell you when the last time was. The last time that I know of was the one with him and the new Power Man. When they go on that little cruise thing with the Commedia dell'arte and what's his name? Victor is sent on this weird maze thing. And Danny and Joy are dating at the time. And Joy makes snarky comments about Misty. And Luke Cage turns up at the end. And I think that might be the comic where it says, I've never known Danny to cry more than once. And there's lots of but it's the one with him and Victor Alvarez, the new Power Man. Is
also known as Hipsters for Hire.
But then the one before that he was in one of the ones with real manga art style. She was in one of the ones with real manga art.
Yeah, I read that as well.
Yeah.
But I think she's just an underutilized part of his mythos. Like, I feel like when she's not there, it feels a bit weird because she does own half brand, right? So
she runs
like, just make her a villain, even like just anything with her really just feels odd to me. I feel like maybe both her and Miranda around could be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope Miranda's around now. I hope Fat Cobra stays around.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a little thing at the end there. Do you see he's flirting again?
Yeah, he does go for it again.
So I don't think he's ever not flirting.
I know. What else? So anyway, back to the issue. Decay is then told that Mephisto would like a word, because obviously he's screwed this up. He hasn't got any cool souls out of it. Mm-hmm. And Danny and his crew walk out of the fight into a big area of fruit machines or slots, depending on
pokies
where you are in the world. Yep. And roulette tables, and Danny's like, I hate to fight and run, but I've got some friends who are depending on me.
Yeah. Oh, no rest, eh?
No rest.
Oops, back to Damnation.
Yeah, back to the main book.
Yeah.
Miranda says she'll come with him. He's like, no, Fat Cobra will take you to my house. By the way, there's a big dragon there. Doesn't say that. Don't think the dragon is there anymore, actually.
He could have just brought it back.
He could have done, or it could have stayed in Kunlun. It's got a nice pad there already.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Who knows?
I mean,
we're not sure where the dragon is living, but he does have a big cage for it. So,
but it's massive now,
go
isn't
back
it?
and forth now. So.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd bring Fat Cobra with me.
Yeah, me too.
I wouldn't be like, I mean, I'm sure she can find her own way.
Yeah. I just like his little thing at the end there. So Danny's saying, maybe this time we can finally have a chance to get to know each other. And Miranda says, that would be great. And the Fat Cobra says, I'd like to get to know you too. Or whatever. I'd like to get to know her too. Very cheeky.
And then his mum, no woman with any self-respect would give you time of day.
She's unrelenting. Yeah.
And then he says to Miranda, try not to kill him, and she says no promises.
Yeah.
While Danny's thinking that he desperately wants to catch up, but he's got to go help his friends.
Good facial expressions there as well for the last two.
Really good. I really like Kisiero's fight. And then you get the final splash page, which is just Danny with the bottom of it is like Las Vegas on fire, the Hotel Inferno off to the left, flames at the top. It's all blues and reds and lovely, and Danny right in the middle, hopping over a fallen down lamppost with Las Vegas Boulevard on it.
Yes.
And he's talking about friends relying on him, and like Orson and then what's he say? He'd lay down his own life to ensure the safety of others, just like Orson did for him. And he talks about like where he was at the beginning of this series, so the beginning of the Britain run. I'd allowed myself to become filled with doubts about my place, my role. I'd lost touch with my chi, my identity, but no longer. And here we get the going forward motto. I am Daniel Rand, the Iron Fist, a living weapon, champion of Kunlun, and it feels great to be back.
Which is a nice note to end on, but it's also pretty much the same note they ended the other arc on.
Yeah.
Right,
But, whatever. Really nice last page.
Yeah.
So I guess it comes to the thing where it's like, I guess Damnation 4 hasn't come out yet, but I'm just going to take a stab in the dark and say you probably don't need to read this for the event at all.
You don't, because he'll turn up. He'll just turn up again.
Yeah, very standalone.
Like, because sorry, go on.
No, it's like all the other tie-ins. It's very much just self-contained, I think, and by having him going back into the fray, you can kind of just leave. Yeah, you really don't need this if you're a Damnation fan. And Damnation 4 will just have, I guess, the big hoo-ha at the end. So
But it should be fun. So then at the end, we get letters from all the creators, and they're adorable. So if you get the issue, read them all.
Yeah, really good. And show it, the likes of the cover artist, Deckel.
Yeah, Jeff Deckel.
How big a fan he was of Iron Fist, and how Ed Brisson, I think, loves the covers, and I think he said he's got issue 2 hanging up in his office. So there's a lot of love shown for Iron Fist. It's really good.
And for the team, and it's lovely. I mean, it's always sad when you get to the end of a run and they do these things, but it's also really delightful to see them all doing a big love-in.
Yeah. I read every word. I really did like their send-off. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and they got everyone, like they got the letterer and Damien Cusiero, because he'd only done these last 3 issues, but it was really nice.
Yeah, and I didn't know that Brisson actually started off as a letterer, he mentions, so...
I know,
that's
it was interesting.
Yeah, some little tidbits that you get from these things, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it was about the colorist and everyone as well. It's really cool. Anyway, it was a good run, Ed Brisson.
Yeah, very much. Enjoyed it a lot.
And yeah, these Damnation tie-ins they're not really important to Damnation, I think, but they're definitely important to Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And his mythos, like a lot of like Orson came back and Miranda came back. I was like, holy crap! And this is in like a tie-in for an event.
Yeah.
It's it's a really good way that Brisson ties in the mythos with the actual event as well.
It was it was. I mean, it did both jobs relatively well, I think, of touching in with the event, but actually getting in that mythos, because I guess that's why he agreed to do it, because saying go to hell means you get the option of bringing people kind of back from the dead, which means you can.
It's a good way to do it.
Get some of that stuff in.
And I can't think of anyone else you would bring back, like any better options than Miranda and Orson. I think the only Damnation time book you would probably need to read is Doctor Strange.
Yep, I'd agree.
Because they just add so much because he is the central character and just adds so much in terms of what's going on with him and stuff. Maybe the Johnny Blaze tie-in, I guess we'll find out with Damnation 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see. Exactly. See how much that
could be
affects
pretty
it.
important.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I am really looking forward to Damnation 4. I just kind of want to see how this all wraps up, and I really hope it's satisfactory, because as I said at the start, I don't think 2 and 3 were that spectacular. I think the tie-ins have been
I would
where it's at.
Totally agree. 2 and 3 were a little flat for me.
It's just nothing happened except Johnny died. Like,
I think it's because all the tie-ins would just been so much better.
Yeah, true. And you kind of end up.
Maybe if they had like 6 issues to do Damnation or something, maybe they could.
I think it originally was,
Oh right.
And they cut it down to 4. Maybe they put in some new tie-ins instead.
Yeah.
But I think it was originally supposed to be 6. Or maybe that was Infinity Countdown. One of them.
So
it's just really hard.
Why isn't go on.
I was about to say, it's really hard to, as a core event, core books, it's really hard to contain it to 4. I think, because it's really just too short. I think 6 is a golden number for doing any event books, just because you can flesh out a bit more, and you can see it here with like 2 and 3. They really nothing much happens, and it's just going to wrap up already, like next issue. So, if it wasn't for the tie-in books, it would be a really, I guess, a non-event for me.
And none of the if you just read the main Damnation books, none of the characters have had anything to do except for like Wong and Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider. Like they assembled this huge team together, but none of them have really done anything.
No.
Like they've just sort of been there fighting in the background.
Yes, like en masse. They're just a group of them. There's no real identity. They're just there fighting the Avengers. And
I mean, as a Moon Knight, like the Moon Knight podcast guy, like, are you disappointed that it's like, because I don't know why, but Moon Knight hasn't gotten any tie-in issues, and he hasn't he hasn't really done anything either.
No,
he's been hilarious. But
he's been hilarious and very divisive amongst the Moon Knight fans. How he's been portrayed. He's kind of a bit of the joke in the team, which, for someone who's such an intense character, kind of rubs some fans up the wrong way. And I would have loved a tie-in book, because you know what? As we said before, and we've said it many times, the tie-in books ruled this event. So if Moon Knight had a tie-in like 3 issues or whatever, or even a one-shot, it would have been so much fun, I think.
Yeah. And it's like, why bring in so many? Like, because I remember when I read Damnation 1, I'm like, wow, crap, that's a lot of characters they brought in for this team.
Yeah. And I can remember how excited you guys sounded like for that last page when they were assembling them. It's like, yeah, this is cool. We're going to get started, and this is a real good way to start off the event. And yeah, it just unfortunately that
they've only focused on like 3 characters.
Yeah,
because why bring in Elsa Bloodstone or
exactly.
like Man-Thing and Doctor Voodoo if you're not going to do anything with them?
Exactly. Maybe it's a really short and quick way to lump them together, so then they can justify making a Midnight Suns.
Them working again afterwards, that'd be good.
And that's it.
Yeah, maybe we're thinking too much about plot integrity, and we're not thinking about the business side of things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're already together now, and then okay, good. You got free reign.
Might as well keep them together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Which, I'd be cool with. I'd like a team book with all these guys.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, so... Okay, we have some mail from Carl first.
Oh.
He just said, I love the issue. Can't wait to see what Big Sister will bring to the table. Love the sappy last page. Short and sweet, and I agree with him.
Yeah. There's so many possibilities
it'll
with
be
Miranda.
Good.
Yeah.
And it'll be good to see, because we've never really gotten any family stuff with Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've never seen him really bond with any sort of family member. Like, there was, like, his dad came back, but he was like a big robot thing, and it was all crazy. And then Danny turned into the Chrysler Building. But, like, it'll be nice.
For all of that, read Iron Fist: The Living Weapon.
Yeah, it's
all
insane.
That fun
it's
stuff.
Great.
It's insane, but great.
Yeah, just you read the first half and you're like, I think I know where this is going, and then the second half is just like, what the hell am I reading? But yeah, no, I'm really, really excited to see like the family aspect, because that's pretty much never been explored with Danny.
Yeah,
like he's always had friends and stuff that he calls family, but like he's never actually had family that are running around. So. Yeah, and I think our next bit of mail is from your co-host, Ray. Connor, he sent in a review.
Yes. He sends his apologies. He couldn't make it tonight onto the show, but he really wanted to get his thoughts in on Iron Fist 80. So so here's Connor with his review of Iron Fist 80.
Hello there, Sons of the Dragon listeners. My name is Connor, and I'm the second half of Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. You'll be hearing Ray on this episode, delivering all the wonderful things he has to deliver on a fantastic podcast, the great minor host, and I'm here by myself, because I'm a big baby who needs his bedtime. I'm the crater boy to Ray's Moon Man. I'm the Midnight to his Moon Knight, the Dino Knight to his Moon Knight. Everything's going on. So I'm here just to deliver a little review of Iron Fist 80 to get that Damnation crossover happening. Just a quick one to say goodbye to what has been a pretty freaking incredible run by Ed Brisson. This has been the first one as someone pretty new to comics, the first one I'll be able to follow from start to finish. I can't say I'm the biggest Iron Fist know-it-all, not at all. I mean, who knows if he even really punched a dragon to get his powers? You have no way of knowing. I don't know. But I've loved, the Immortal Iron Fist run. Iron Fist Living Weapon has been fun. All his appearances. Power Man Iron Fist with Chris Claremont back in the day. David F. Walker run. I love Iron Fist, but, I'm not like these guys. Let's just say. So this run, following it from start to finish, has been properly incredible. I love what Brisson's done with the characters, with the way he's incorporated the lore, with new stuff for Danny. The super wonderful fight with, I believe it was Mike Perkins at the start, that made it really feel like a kung fu action movie, worthy of the Iron Fist ridiculousness back in the 70s. And this run comes to its finale in what is a very sort of open end with its final tie into Damnation. We see Danny enter the ring with Fat Cobra to protect one of my favourite characters, Orson Randall, and Danny Rand's half-sister. And there's just so much good stuff happening in this issue. it's a pretty strong goodbye, I think. It's kind of like one of the perfect ones that has so much love for the characters. We get the fantastic fight scenes with incredibly stylized art by, I'm blanking on the artist, let me pull him up, because I don't know, research ever? Damien Cusario with Andy Troy. Just really fantastic fight scenes delivered. Very stylized compared to what Mike Perkins was doing at the start, but just incredible, highlighting the action, and we just see all the best parts here of Danny Rand being a hero, a family man, a conflicted person, as we saw explored in the previous issues with why he's damned. Orson Randall is lovely. He's terrible. He's a prick, but I love him so much. It's just this super heartfelt issue full of action, full of plenty of great humor, full of such a great goodbye to this run and Orson Randall himself. It brings the weight that made this whole run special, brought the action that made this whole run special, brought the humor and the heart that just made this whole run special. And it's not really a goodbye, despite the fact I've said it like 20 times. It doesn't have that final climax that a lot of the big stick in the ground that says at the end, but it just does what made this run special, and it just does it one last time and opens it up so that the next writer can smash it out of the park and hopefully bring more of what Brisson did, while also giving it their own flavour, like Brisson did to make this such a powerful and such a wonderful and such his own run. I guess I don't really have much more to say. I thought it was just super great. So many great jokes. I love Orson. I was not expecting that ending. That hurt me. Hurt my heart. And I'm sure these guys have done already so much great talking about it on this episode, so just listen to them. Don't really listen to me. I'm pretty rubbish. They're all fantastic. So, for Connor of Into the Night, I give this a 4.5 Iron Fists out of 5. Super strong. And I'll send it back to these guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show, unless, of course, they're shoving me at the end, right after they've already said everything, after the credits have rolled, and I'm the last bit of the episode, because they don't really want to give me airtime, and there'll be nothing after this, so if that's the case, then have a great shower. Opens.
Whoops.
Enjoy the show, guys.
We should have listened
Thanks
to
for
it
the airtime. Love you, Sons of the Dragon.
Cool.
It's good to. It's always good to hear some unrequited Iron Fist love.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess in the spirit of things, we should say what we rate it out of 5 fists. So why don't you go first, Rebecca?
I always have to go first. I really like this issue. I'll agree with that, Connor. 4.5. I liked it. Good issue.
All right.
Yeah, I really did like this issue as well. I've been loving the whole run, exactly as Connor has been saying as well. It's been really solid. So I gave it a 4 before I heard all the other 4.5s, but I could give it a 4.5 as well. But,
no, you can stick your ground.
Yeah, 4's a really good mark, I think. It's one that says, go out and get it, basically.
Yeah. Give it a 4 or a 3.5. I'm not sure. Those are both really high for me, though.
Mm-hmm.
I generally rate things pretty harshly.
He does.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a pretty good mark. Yeah.
Because for me, 5 stars is absolute perfection, right? Which is pretty much never attainable. So. For me, my problems with this issue, for instance, the Legion of Vengeance, I honestly thought maybe they could have done something a bit more interesting for, the final fight than a bunch of huge, bulky demons, maybe characters that we've known about previously or something. But, just nitpicks like that, so, yeah, I'll give it a 3.5. That's pretty high for me.
It's pretty good.
I guess for reference though, that I would give the other finale to this run a 4.5 because that was amazing.
Ooh, okay.
But this was very good though. I really enjoyed this. So, yeah, I think the thing that also hurt it for me, I love this issue. I don't dislike it or anything, but I guess this had such a good build up as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always gonna not quite live up to your expectations.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but no, loved it. Yeah, cool. Well, I'm thinking I'm about to die from some sort of weird illness. So
Yeah.
anything else to say?
No, but don't die of a weird illness or anything else.
Hope you get better as
well. Apologies for any technical or internet difficulties that may pop up, or my teeth chattering, or something weird happening. I'm not on my A game today. So, but I am so glad to be back with you guys. So glad to have you on the show, Ray. It was awesome.
You. Oh, look, can I just say as well that I really do thank you for having us on the show, and for having Connor as well via his pre-recorded review. It's been a blast, and really do love this podcast. So, yeah, I'm chuffed to be on it.
Oh,
thank you. It's really good to have people who ask questions about Iron Fist and stuff, because it, reminds us as well, and it's also good for new listeners.
Yeah.
In case we forget something, that people might not be aware of.
Yeah.
Who's that guy over there?
Exactly, like Miranda. I've learnt a lot of things about Miranda now.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have, because she's just been like nowhere for 30 years. And everyone's like, "Who's this Miranda chick?"
Yeah, and some people might think that she's just been kind of invented, like just recently, but. We now know, we know that she's had a long history with the character.
Yeah, Iron Fist #2 was her first appearance all the way back in the 70s, and she's a very nice, non-depressing little story that was. Had the plant people who are awesome. So, yeah, I read Danny's Resurrection again today. Man, those plant people are devious. Very devious.
Oh.
But Namor saved everyone, so props to Namor.
I like Namor.
Namor and Doctor Strange. Props to those guys.
Cool.
But yeah, right, well, awesome issue. Thanks everyone who's listening. If you're just listening for Damnation, or if you're a regular listener, thanks again for listening. I'm really glad that this run of Iron Fist has brought in a lot of new fans. It always makes me happy, and hopefully this leads to more awesome Iron Fist discussions in the future and stuff, and for the next. So the previous part of Damnation was released, 2 hours ago? By you guys over at Into the Night. That is Scarlet Spider 17.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the conclusion.
Yeah, that was last week, I think. We've had that.
Last week.
You didn't do it like 2 hours ago?
No, we sadly finished up our run last week. Yeah. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, we've got no more Damnation.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we'll go check that out anyway. That's the conclusion of the Scarlet Spider thing, which is pretty cool. So I guess the next part would be Damnation 4, right?
Yeah, which is out Wednesday.
Yep.
And that'll be over at the Defenders TV podcast, and then after that it will be Doctor Strange 389, which will also be the Defenders TV podcast. And we're going to see what we can do, I believe, about having a roundtable discussion
that'll be
of
so
Damnation as a whole. So don't know where we'll host that. Probably the Defenders podcast, but we'll keep everyone posted.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to everyone getting together and having a discussion. Might be a while from now because people got to be free, but so head on over to Defenders TV podcast for the next part, but also just make sure you check out Into the Night and Moon Knight podcast and Inner Demons at Ghost Rider podcast as well.
Yeah.
And it'll be a good way to
feature soon, no doubt.
Yeah.
That actually reminds me, the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider tie-in will be out tonight, I believe.
I think Monday.
So by the time this is up,
around Monday or Tuesday, and I drop in there as well. Just
no.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that keep an eye out on the Inner Demons page for the Johnny Blaze tie-in, because that's a very interesting.
A very cool one shot. Yeah, very good.
may be important to the finale. We'll see. But yeah, until next time, may your fist become unto a thing of iron, but don't overexert yourself because you'll die. Dun dun dun. You guys going to sign off, or is it just me?
Yes. Sorry.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Iron Fist and all other characters in these comics are properties of Marvel and Disney. Any music or images we use belong to their respective copyright holders. We do this for fun, so please don't sue us. You can contact us at sonsofthedragonpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us mail, comments, thoughts, anything you want really. It doesn't even have to be related to Iron Fist. You can also find us on Facebook, The Immortal Iron Fist Podcast, Sons of the Dragon, our Twitter, @Iron Fist Podcast, our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Sons of the Dragon, hyphens where the spaces are, our YouTube, Connor Carl, just search Iron Fist Podcast and you'll find us real quick. We are also on iTunes. If you find us there, give us a review and rate us. If it's less than 5 stars, please say why so we can improve the show. And we're on Podcast Garden in the literature section, and last but not least, head over to our WordPress, Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast.wordpress.com. That's where I put all the show notes. And I would like to thank Thomas Tissot for letting us use his Iron Fist theme song for the start of our show. And finally, thanks to you guys for listening.